What is up, YouTube? This is Ender from War and Glory bringing you our latest recap. This obviously not a CWL matchup. This was the off week, and we did catch War Whales in the Potluck, so an awesome matchup there. We were excited to have it. Obviously, this being Potluck, we're not using any fresh bases. We're running a few from the last couple weeks, really saving our base building energy for the last 2 weeks of the CWL. But we did give it our all out on attacks, and that certainly did show at every town hall this war. Starting off the war with 9v9s hitting above 70%, providing plenty of scouts for our 10s and 11s to just crush the rest of the war, and that they did. Town hall 10s cleared 11s really quickly, 5 out of 7 attacks. Didn't get the 2-star on their number 6. After one hit, we saved that for 11v11, and triple that we did. And then our Town Hall 10s just really tore it up on 10v10, getting 8 total 10v10 triples. Awesome war there. And gave us plenty of opportunities for Town Hall 11s to go 11v11. Did end up hitting at 50% there on 11v11, getting 2 11v11 triples. Obviously, this Potluck being a 6-14 breakdown, a little different from CWL, but you kind of do expect to clear Town Hall 10s, and we did do that, and then got these top 2 Town Hall 11s to boot. Defensively, we performed well. Town Hall 9 bases, very solid. Did get War Whales to have to dip 10v9. Our Town Hall 11 bases, we didn't have any really for a 6-14 breakdown. That's okay. So not ideal. War Whales did get 2 very solid 11v11 attacks on our 2 and 3, so shout out to them. Crazy close war, and gotta give props to both sides here. Felt like we had it in the bag for the majority of the end of the war, but War Whales did keep it close and ultimately provided a very close finish. So we will go ahead and get started with these attacks, working down the lineup, and we'll jump into Baker's first of his 2 11v11 triples. Baker running bitch on both of these bases. Their 5 and 6 were both primed up for 11v11 bitch attacks. Gonna enter here at about 4:30. Triple jump is going to reach that back Inferno. Going to grab that Eagle artillery on the way. Nice tomb ability. Rage and heal in the core there. Doesn't have much of a flank up top from 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock, but has plenty from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And those bowlers are putting in work on that top side, so nothing to worry about there. That BK does jump into that back end Inferno. And at this point, it's pretty much game over. Has that AQ ability. That BK's still up, beaten through the back wall. So really nice triple there. War Whales did get their, I think both of their 11v11s relatively early in the war, so we knew we really had to bring it with our 10v10s to give us plenty of opportunities up top, and we came through. So we will hop in here to Baker's second 11v11. Really nice use here with the bowlers to get that archer tower down quickly at 3 o'clock. Again with the bitch hopping in with the triple jump to reach that second Inferno, this time entering at about 1:30. This was the second attack on this base. Like I said earlier, we did have 110v11 on this base, and liked how it looked for 11v11 bitch, so kind of held off on wasting any more 11 or 10v11 attacks, and used the rest of those for 10v10. So it has a decent amount of troops going from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Queen still does have ability and some tanking out in front of her. Skeletons running all over the place. This was really our first uh, competitive war since the update, so midweek we were getting used to these new witches, the new loon drops, and just like War and Glory has been performing the last, well, really the last month and a half or so, ever since the start of the second season, we've just been getting better and better. And the update didn't slow us down at all. So one of our best performances of this second CWL season timeline. Um, so huge shout out to Baker up there on the Town Hall 11 attacks, and we will hop into some 10v10 now. Just gonna scroll through them. With 8 of them, there is a lot to see. Surprisingly enough, with that witch update, you would have expected us to get the witch buff. Excuse me. You'd expected us to get a couple 10v10 bitch attacks. Out of the 8, we had 0. So everything through the air. So obviously not having any trouble adjusting to the loons post update. So something good to see. Akira here is going in on the sofa. Gonna suicide heroes at 9 o'clock. Does get that Inferno, and the Queen ability will get the enemy Archer Queen. Going to pre-drop those hastes, and Laloon from 6 o'clock going counterclockwise. Has the rage over that second Inferno. And going to deploy, has plenty of spells for those loons going in the backside. That heal going to be important there. Plenty of minions around the base to clean up. And Akira just tearing through this base, so really nice attack there. Again, 10v10's just killed it this war. Really awesome to see. This cleanup is going to take a while, but I can assure you he does get the triple. So we will move on to the next one, not wasting any time. And this is GA going in on their 9. Golden Armada, gotta give a shout out here, did get a 10v10 6-pack and is using some pretty heavy Hound Lalos. So not something that we necessarily expected to see with the update to the loons, but GA showing us that the heavy Hound Lalos can still be done. So going to get that nice wall break in at 6 o'clock for that Queen to step up and get the Inferno. Hopefully hop over here, get the air defense and as much else as she can. If I remember correctly, that Expo is not going to go down. Just needed one more hit before that Queen decided to target that Hound. So tough luck there, but not going to stop this raid. We'll start the Lalo at about 9 o'clock, going clockwise, but pretty quick deployment. All around 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, going straight through the base. Is heading into 2 sweepers. So it does look pretty nasty. Does have these skeletons for that enemy queen there. Does get a couple loon drops on her as well. And then going to rage, haste, and then heal into that last section there at 3 o'clock. I'm pretty sure GA has 2 hounds left up at the end of this attack. Pretty nuts to see 2 hounds left up. Cleanup is gonna take a while when that happens, but did have the 3 minutes there. So shout out to GA for getting the job done there, and we will revisit his second 10v10 triple in a couple minutes. That moves us to Tommy Boy, which is Garrett's Town Hall 10 account. Another one of our 10s that did have the 6-pack. So the first of Garrett's attacks here, going to funnel minions up there at 1 o'clock. Oh, this is actually nice. That Tesla came up, got a wall breaker, so he does drop a loon there to distract that Tesla while he deploys the remainder of his wall breakers to make sure that that section does open for his queen to step up. So, really nice improv right there. Pretty important to the rest of his raid that that Inferno is able to, or the queen is able to step inside and get that Inferno down. So good thinking on the fly to use that loon to distract the Tesla. Gonna start his La Loon about 1:30, going clockwise. Does have the 2 skeleton spells for the enemy queen. And going to tear through this base. Queen is not down yet. There she goes. Plenty of loons left to take down that last air defense. And with just the Tesla and Archer Tower remaining, plenty of pups left over, and several loons to take down that last defense. Garrett will get it, and we will hop on over to the next 10v10 here. Scrolling down the list. This is Baker again, so his 10 and 11 in the war and just putting in work. His 11 account, master of the bitch attack, but his 10 using a Lalo here, just like all our other 10v10 triples. Has both the wizards over there working on a funnel, getting some trash buildings. Giants to tank for that wall breaker to send that queen inside the base. So going to send queen in at 6 o'clock and the BK in at 9 o'clock to take down a couple archer towers and everything else they can get. Is sending that queen in first because the BK will lure out that CC and doesn't want the queen to have to deal with that. So good timing there by Baker. Very nice deployment. So that CC does come out, but queen is suicided and that BK has got the job done. So Baker will go ahead and start with that La Loon. Coming in at 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Again, attacking those sweepers head on, but going to haste through them. Again, did leave the queen up, but does have 2 skeleton spells and the rage for her. She's in a huge compartment, so not difficult to target her. And those loons are just going to slip right through the base. Have noticed with the new update, you do have to go a little heavy on those loons. But as long as you go a little heavy in the beginning, they'll get the job done. So really nice attack there by Baker. We'll lure that hound out to 3 o'clock with the cleanup. And we will move on to the next one. This is Jacob on his Team Mystic account. Looks like he's going to, haven't seen this in a minute, looks like he's gonna suicide the queen possibly, and then jump a golem, king, and bowlers into the base, so we'll see here. Oh, no, I do remember this now. So he's gonna suicide the queen at about 7:30, and is going to use quite a bit of spells on this kill squad here, but they just tear through the space, get massive value, setting up perfect pathing for the loons here. So it does have wall breaks in, does have the jump down, freezing the Inferno, raging, and healing. So it is a just a very expensive kill squad, but when you look at what's remaining after that kill squad goes down, it's really not much. He's going to start those loons up at 12 o'clock and pretty much haste straight through the base. Those hastes are all pretty much going to touch themselves. Those loons are never going to stop. as they just rip through this base. So, probably one of my favorite 10v10s this war. Uh, that haste deployment was just pretty damn beautiful. Does still have the Hound up there. Unfortunately, that Hound doesn't go down, but plenty of cleanup. Awesome attack, Jacob. Um, we will click out of this cleanup and move on to the next one. It's going to be TLW. This is Connor's Town Hall 10. Going in on 17. Going to drop a couple wizards at 8 o'clock along with 2 giants and the Barb King. Going to work those suicide heroes around from 9 o'clock all the way up to 12 o'clock. Those wizards are going to take that air defense down a couple buildings. Originally, the plan was to wall break in here, but after one open where the wall was broken and the queen decided to keep on moving, we kind of realized how much value that queen was getting by continuing to walk up towards 12. She did step down and get that expo, so decided to drop the 5 wall breakers and let the queen walk north like she wants to. Just getting some massive value out of her before starting this Lalo. Coming in from 7:30 straight into that first Inferno, working counterclockwise, is going to freeze over that air sweeper, has a rage and a skeleton spell for the enemy queen. Pretty tough placement to get it right on her, especially with that BK there too, and the small narrow compartments, but does get the job done there. Gonna haste out of this second Inferno, and as soon as that's down, it's pretty much game over here. Although that queen stayed up, balloons targeted her pretty quickly. That queen did give us trouble on a couple of the other attacks we were trying on this base. So nice for the loons to target her quickly. So we will look here at Garrett's second 10v10 here with his 6-pack. Suiciding heroes here at the south. So going to wall break in at 5:30. Getting hopefully, possibly 3 whiz towers here. And we'll get the 3 whiz towers. Not able to get the queen there, but is bringing 2 skeleton spells, so obviously he didn't expect to. And say 3 wizard towers is plenty value from that queen there at the end. Going to Lalo in at 5 o'clock, running counterclockwise. Does get the rage and the skeleton spells onto that queen. Just tearing through the base. Does have 4 air defenses to get through and a couple infernos. But bringing 6 hastes on the attack. Just kind of laying them all along the perimeter as his loons move across. Going to path through this base very quickly. Reaching that inferno in no time and finishing on that sweeper. Fortunately, that enemy queen that is still up decides to park right by that sweeper and gets taken out immediately. So, clean up on this base, easy peasy, and we will move into number 8 on the 10v10 triples. Again, this is Golden Harmonic coming in with his second 10v10 triple. Again, another pretty heavy Hound Lalo attack, so we're not just seeing those light, loud, heavy loon attacks. Can do it both ways. Going to suicide those heroes in at 5 o'clock. Gets a nice wall break there right in front of that wizard tower. And going to rage just the queen, so Pretty cool to see one rage being worth it on just a hero, but uh, she's going to take down that enemy Archer Queen and the Inferno, and then die before that Hound is popped, so important there. And then going to start that Laloon at 7:30, moving clockwise. Uh, Pretty tough pathing here to that second Inferno, and unfortunately all those loons are going to bypass it. But they still got plenty of health there, especially with that back end heal spell. So, with so many loons still up as they are making their way through those last couple defenses, there's going to be plenty of loons and plenty of health to head into that last Inferno that they pathed around at the beginning. And as soon as that is down, it is again just a game of cleanup. So, really nice attack there. Huge shout outs to Garrett and Golden Armada for getting a 10v10 6-pack. But again, all of this starts with our 11 or our 9 whoops, our 9v9 attacks. We did have plenty of scouts. So we will give a shout out here to all the 6-pack 9v9s. It's hard to 6-pack when you're hitting at 70+% and have to scout so much, but there's God, Albert, Yido, Loki, 305, and Eric. Oh, and Gafori. So plenty of 6-packs going down at the 9v9 level, and we will go ahead and take a look at one of these here. This is Yido going in on the self-proclaimed best Town Hall 9 attacker in the game. So checking out his defense. Yido, just like a lot of the War and Glory 9s do, is going in with the Suli Lalo. Very OP strat at this level. Oh crap. Actually, it's time for me to go for a shave, shower, crap, and wank. So we will cut this 9v9 short, but do note that there were plenty of 6-packs down at the Town Hall 9 level, and then we will be back for another recap against WHF next week. So until then, peace.